How's it going, everybody? My name is Absoulem and welcome to my channel. In this video is going to be a complete guide for the Malware to Toten main Easter egg. Now all the resources and steps are all linked below and timestamped for your convenience. And also if you haven't already, then please hit that subscribe button because it would help me out significantly and I would also greatly appreciate it. With all that out of the way, let's get into the class setup that you need to beat this Easter egg as easy as possible. Now, I'd recommend an M16 and an Ether Shroud field upgrade with an emphasis on the Ether Shroud. That's going to make the boss fight a lot easier. Now, you're going to be using the Wonder Weapon for the most part throughout this Easter egg, so don't stress over the weapon as much as you do the field upgrade. So like most maps in the past years, the first few things you need to do is get power on, get Pack-a-Punch, start working on the free wonder weapons, start building Klaus, getting as many points and upgrading your weapons and getting perks, all that kind of stuff by round 10. So round 10 is the round that you can finish Klaus and start the actual steps towards this Easter egg. Now, if you don't know how to do any of these things, then everything will be linked below in the description, and I will be updating the description once I finish all these side Easter egg videos as well. Now, you actually start this Easter egg on round 10 by assembling Klaus. There's a few things you can do to help yourself and be the most efficient, which is getting the black light for the free wonder weapon Easter egg, upgrading Klaus, and then also breaking the wall, which is step number 1. So I get the black light and then I take him over and I break the wall. And once that's broken, then I also get the 25 kills for the upgrade by getting him to kill all these zombies in that round. So essentially by round 10 or 11, you will be done with Klaus's upgrade for the most part. You will have the wonder weapon trial started and also the first step, which is getting Klaus to break down this wall. Now, to get Klaus to break down this wall, you just need to direct him over to the sewers and then have him punch the brick wall by directing him right in front of the wall, and he will actually knock it down. So now with the wall broken, that is step number 1 completed, and we can move on to the next part. So you need to get the wonder weapon, the Cerberus, out of either the free wonder weapon Easter egg, the trials, the mystery box, and in some rare cases, even the bunny side Easter egg. So once you've acquired the wonder weapon, now we can start working on Klaus's upgrade that is needed for later in the Easter egg. So make your way back to the spawn room and you're going to see this giant radio tower. Shoot that over with the wonder weapon and it's going to drop a part. That'll be part number 1 of 3 for Klaus's head upgrade gear for the hacking unit. So all of these parts are in the same kind of area, so make your way downstairs into the electronics store or the TV room of sorts. And you're looking for these boom boxes around the map. One of them is going to have the part if you shoot it with the wonder weapon, and you just have to shoot them until it drops the part. So there's one right there, there's the other one, and then there's one on this side as well. But just go around the room and shoot them until you find the part. Now we can move on to the third part, which is going to be down in the subway area. So make your way down this set of stairs right here. And if you go to the bottom of the stairs and turn left, you'll see the green box on the wall inside of the ghost station by the ticket booth. And if you just shoot that with the wonder weapon, you'll be able to pick up the third part. Now just make your way back to Klaus and then you'll be able to craft the helmet gear onto Klaus himself and you'll see the wire on his head appear, and that means that you can move on to the next part. Now, if you haven't gotten the 25 to 30 kills with Klaus for his upgrade, then I recommend getting that now, and you'll know you've done it once you get the siren sound effect confirming that you've gotten all the kills. So if you've already done that, then great, then make your way over to the garment factory so you can finish the upgrade for Klaus. So go ahead and direct Klaus into this device over here, make sure that you've placed the satellite dish, and then you'll be able to defend him for 1 minute. This will finish his upgrade that is needed for the main Easter egg. There is one more Easter egg that allows you to upgrade him one more time and turn him into a pop rock star, which I will have linked below once I finish that guide. But you don't need to do that for the Easter egg, so just do this phase and get him to his second upgrade. Alright, so moving on, you need to get kills with the wonder weapon until you get the Blazer mod kit, which is the AR styled laser gun, and this is going to allow you to melt the metal door that is behind the wall that you had Klaus break down. So this is how we're going to open up the main area of the egg and get started with the actual steps. So all you have to do is just take your laser gun and then just hold the laser down on the metal door and you'll see it melt until it actually opens up all the way, and then you'll be able to access this area. Once you enter the room, there's a brief lockdown with the Tormentor red zombies, and this is pretty easy, just survive it and then you'll be able to move on to the next step. Alright, once the lockdown is over, then come back to the middle of the room and pick up all 3 canisters from this little podium, and then you'll be able to use your laser mod kit to melt the door to this device and pick up the lure. Alright, for this next step, you need to place your 3 canisters that you picked up in these special machines that are all over the map. There's going to be 3 in your game, and you need to find those 3 and then do the 3 canisters. To complete this, you need to throw your lure down next to the canister and then kill the 3 Tempests that spawn in order to charge up the canister. In solo, it's going to be 3, and in co-op, it will be 4 Tempests needed. So once you've done this correctly, the Tempest should charge it up and the canister will turn purple, and you'll be able to pick it up, allowing you to now escort it back to the bunker and place it in the warhead device. So there's going to be a bunch of enemies spawning along your way, so be careful, but remember you have your field upgrade to blow up anything in your vicinity, and I usually save this until I get to the bunker door because sometimes it does get a little congested. selected. But once you've done this correctly, then go place it back in the warhead, and then you'll just need to rinse and repeat this 3 times. So now I'm going to go over all the spawns for these canister devices. So the first one is in that sewer access against that wall. The next one is going to be in the ghost station. It's going to be up by the ticket booth where you got the helmet gear, and it's going to be right here against the wall right there. The next one is going to be at the top of the map between the electronics store and the bar right against that wall right there. The next one will be over here in the alleyway where you saw me do it before, and it's going to be kind of by the zip line and next to this dumpster right here. So that's what they look like right there, and now we can move on to the next spawn. So the next one is at the top of the Corber building next to the speed cola right here against this wall. And then the following one is across the way on the zip line, or you can go down and over, but it's above the grocery store on the top floor right here on this wall right here beside the zip line. And then the final location is over here in the West Berlin streets up against this white shack right here next to the wall by. So like I said, there's going to be 3 in your game and you need to complete all 3. It's 3 Tempests for solo, 4 for co-op. But once you've placed all 3 canisters that are fully charged, you will be able to move on to the next step, which is collecting the warhead. Now to collect this, you need to use Klaus and the train cars. So what you need to do is go over here and buy Klaus, and you can do this all at the end of the rounds. That's the easiest way to do it. If you're in solo or co-op, just have someone hold a zombie. But once you've bought Klaus, then go over here and make him stand on the tracks right here on this side. It's on the ticket booth side where the canister is and where the helmet gear is, on that side of the tracks. So go ahead and place him there and then come over here into the switch control, and you'll be able to activate that switch on the wall right there. And then you want to just make sure without a doubt that he is standing on the tracks just like so. So once he's on the tracks, all you have to do now is just hold a zombie and wait for the train to come. And Klaus will do this animation where he just becomes Superman and decides to stop the train car. So at this point, now you can go ahead and collect the warhead that is on the train. And there's also the key card as well as some intel if you're interested. So right here is the warhead, and then right there is the key card. Make sure that you get both of these, otherwise you will have to redo the step. So now let's move on to the final section of this Easter egg. So make your way over to the safe house and use your key card you got off the train on this computer right here. Now there's going to be about 4 or 5 files you have to browse through until you get to a prompt that says initiate the disruptor satellite. So once you've done that, then it's going to spawn in a megaton and as well as mimics and other zombies on the top of the map. Now the megaton is the thing that you were after, so you have to kill everything in the area and then you can pick up the parts that it drops. Now I just want to make sure that you understand that you are on a timer, and if the timer goes off, your game is over no matter what. So this is a very important step to not mess up. So go ahead and kill everything, and then the megaton, that's when the timer starts, is when the megaton dies. So just make sure that you've killed everything else first. But then go ahead and pick up the uranium rocks that the megatons drop, and this is when your timer is going to start counting down. So for this, you want to pick up the uranium rock and then make your way over to the crafting table and assemble the device that has baffled Einstein and other scientists for years as to how it works. But personally, I believe it runs off magic and the power of friendship. But either way, the important thing is that it works and you can use it on these zip lines. So make your way over to the zip line that is between the Corber building and the grocery store building. So make your way to one of the sides of the zipline and then assemble your uranium device onto the zipline right here. And then you'll just have to redo this exact step one more time and assemble it onto the opposite side of the zipline. Once both parts are assembled, then they will collide and make a sparkling fireworks show for the masses, and you'll be able to pick up your cleansed uranium rock. Now pick up your pet rock and take it to the bunker that is down below in the secret room, and you're going to be assembling the warhead as well as the cleansed rock. So go ahead and assemble both of those into that device as well, and now you are 1/2 of the way there to the final step, which is going to automatically take you to the boss fight. So you just need to do the exact same thing at this point. So just hit your computer and call in the Megaton, which is going to, instead of spawning by the Pack-a-Punch, it's actually going to spawn over at the 5th floor apartments or the spawn room. And you're just going to do the exact same thing. And the only difference is the place that the Megaton comes down and where you craft the device. Now, all you have to do is just kill your enemies. And then what you're going to do is pick up the rocks and take them to this crafting station right over here, which is next to the phone booth in this little tent right here. So this is where you craft this one. But as far as the zipline step, that is the exact same zipline. It works the exact same way. But once you've placed the uranium and created the fireworks show that rivals any public festivals, now you can pick up your rock, and then at this point you do not want to proceed with actually placing it because it will actually teleport you to the boss fight with no warning. So what I do is I place my cleansed rock right here outside that room, and then at this point you get your perks, you Pack-a-Punch, everything, which I will go over what you need for this boss fight. So to get prepared as best as possible, you want to get all your perks, you want to try to get level 3 armor, a self-revive, and then most importantly, above all else, have the triple packed wonder weapon, the non-variant version, so the base level. And then I would buy a death machine because it absolutely melts the boss, as well as a decoy grenade or a stem grenade. These are going to be helpful for different things, but bottom line is get the triple packed wonder weapon and a death machine, and then anything else is just bonus. But personally, try to get as set up as possible, but you're going to want to have salvage for death machines, and the wonder weapon is very, very important. So those two things are the most important thing. But once you're ready, now you can pick up your pet rock and place it into this device, which will automatically teleport you into the boss fight. So now let's go over how the boss fight works and how you can get this calling card for yourself. So for this boss fight, it takes place all over the map, but the first and final phases happen in this arena. Now this is the harder arena to survive in, so I'm going to be covering more of the specifics on how to fight her in these boss fight areas, but I will be showing all the different areas that you can fight her in. So the areas after the first one are random every single game, but the first and final are always in this one. So basically in each area, she does this attack that can kill you instantly, and there's places you can stand in the areas that will actually protect you, so I will be covering that specifically per area. But as for her attacks, they do stay the same. So in this area right here in this corner, or the opposite side of the room in the exact same corner, are the safe spots if she does that attack. You'll know she's doing this attack if your screen is completely blue and if she starts screaming, and it's pretty awkward actually, but she will start screaming and then it can instantly kill you. So make sure you get to the corners if that happens. But speaking of her attacks, let's go over all the ways that she can kill you and how to evade each one. So her main attack is shooting ether crystals at you like you're seeing right now, and this will absolutely obliterate your shield and kill you pretty quickly if you stand in front of it. However, it's also really easy to evade by just staying on the move and or staying in the safe areas that I showed you. If you're in co-op, it's going to target just one of the players, and that gives the other 3 players a chance to actually do damage to the boss while the one player is getting picked on. But that attack is the number one thing, and then the other things that she can do are basically spawning in hordes of tormented zombies, which can blow up and kill you pretty quickly as well. And then the third thing that she can do is actually spawning in all these zombies like you're seeing right now, and they'll form a circle around her and actually start donating their life to heal her back up. So I just showed you how that looks, and you can see her health bar is all the way back up now, and I wanted to make sure I showed that because that is pretty annoying. So it's pretty easy to evade that as well. You just kill all those zombies in a circle with your wonder weapon, and they're instantly dead, and her health will not go back up. So basically the crystal attack, the waves of zombies, and then also the healing rounds are her 3 main things. And then the fourth and final phase thing that she can do is just the nuke attack, or I'm calling it the Garad Krovi bomb step attack, where it just can instantly end the game and you are dead. And that one's not, it sounds scary, but it's not that hard. You just go to the safe areas and you'll be completely fine. You'll know what's happening if your screen starts turning blue and there's all these swirls. It's very, very obvious. So just make sure that you evade that by going into the safe areas. So now let's go over how you actually deal damage and effectively. So basically what you want to do is just run circles, and this goes for all the areas. So you're going to run circles and then use your wonder weapon to crack her shield, and then you can either use the wonder weapon on her or you can use the death machine to absolutely melt her health. I highly recommend the death machine. I can't say it enough, it absolutely melts her. So just use the wonder weapon to break her shield and kill any zombie in the area. It is an absolute goat of a weapon, so just use that and then use your weapon of choice on her. It is a slower boss fight, but it is honestly not that bad. It's like 8 to 10 minutes for all of the phases in a solo game, and then it's about 10 minutes for a quads game. But just remember to keep running circles and play it patiently and sit in the corners when needed, but it'll only be a few minutes per phase, so it's really not that bad. Just don't be aggressive and go run up in front of her. That's when the swarms will happen and you'll end up getting hit by something, because there's a lot of enemies that can instantly break your armor or instantly kill you. So just play it slow and then you shouldn't have any issues. But now let's move on to the other areas and how that all works. So as for attacks, the methods, everything is the exact same for all of the phases. The only thing that's different is where you actually hide to evade those attacks. So in between rounds is a great time to refresh your armor, go buy more crafting table stuff, buy a new death machine, whatever it is, maybe perks that you might have lost in your previous phase. Now I also want to mention that the areas are random like I mentioned earlier, so you might not have access to a specific crafting table, so map knowledge comes in handy in knowing how to get to each crafting table. But just so you know, if you run anywhere near her or you shoot her, it will automatically teleport you to the next area, so be careful for that. But you're also on about a 30-second to 45-second timer, and then it'll automatically teleport you. So being efficient is very key in this boss fight. So just once you've gotten prepped, now you can move on to the next area. And like I said, it will be random. So I'm just going to be going in the order that I had in my game and showing you how each area works. So for East Berlin, the trucks and the tanks are your way to evade that instant kill attack, and I'll show that in just a second, but basically you're just going to run around. It's a lot more open in this area, and you shouldn't have many issues. As for the cars, I wouldn't recommend hiding behind those. I've had some pretty poor luck. But here's a look at that. The cargo truck will protect you from that attack, and you'll be able to keep going with the running circles and then doing some small damage. So now let's move on to the next area. I'm going to go kind of quick because it does work the exact same way in all phases. I'm just going to show you these safe areas, and then we can move on to the final phase. So the next area that you could possibly have is the destroyed penthouse, and she'll be over in the corner opposite of the quick revive machine, or the adjacent to the quick revive. And then the area you can stand to evade her attacks is down below next to the ammo cache or the zip line. That's going to be your best place to stand if she does that instant kill attack. But otherwise, I would just run wide circles in this area and you shouldn't have any issues. Now for the last area outside of the final phase, which is the West Berlin streets. This one is a lot easier, and I've actually never had the nuke attack on this world. I'm not saying it's not possible, I'm just saying that I've never seen it. But if it did happen, I would recommend hiding behind the white shed that is on the Klaus end of the map. So on this phase, you want to just run around the tank a bunch of times and just be a little bit more careful because it is a little bit tighter and smaller of a space. So now let's move on to the final phase, which is honestly the easiest one, and it works the exact same as the first one with all the same spots, except her health is going to go a lot faster. So for this one, I'd recommend pulling out all the stops, and it's so easy if you just pop Ether Shroud when you get the right opportunity, by just running to the middle, using your Ether Shroud, and just lighting her up with all of your weapons, and she should fall out of the sky pretty quickly. At this point, the teabag and capture is the way to go, and now we can move on to the final part of this Easter egg, which is the playable cutscene. But as for spoilers, I am not going to show any of the cutscenes. So all you have to do from this point is just escort our boy Klaus into Narnia, and you will get the calling card for the Dark Ops, which signifies you've completed the main Easter egg. Now once again, everything is linked below in timestamp for your convenience, and I will be updating all the side Easter egg guides into the description as well once I'm done. But that is everything. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Absoulem, and I hope to see you in my next video.